All power and glory go to God. Welcome back to another Win and Raise It Pours on this beautiful day. I'm your host, Skinny from the Block.
And I'm your Majesty.
We're back. We're back in action. We're doing well. We both have brand new shirts on. You know, materialism. It's a positive thing.
Yeah, I've had this shirt for a while.
Oh, really?
A few weeks. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It looks new. I got this new everyday shirt. It's part of my whole, the new look I'm cultivating. You know, the overshirt, the undershirt, the pajama shorts, the high decorative socks.
What's an everyday shirt?
An everyday shirt is like kind of a higher cut dress shirt. It's not really designed to be tucked in. But it's it is a button-down shirt, usually with short sleeves and a collar. I gotta say, John, it's been a rough week for me.
What was that?
The liquor store stopped selling my little 7-ounce Miller Lights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I switched to 7-ounce Coors Lights because they had Coors Lights, but then I realized that really wasn't like getting my buzz where I wanted it to be, you know. So I got something that has a little bit more alcohol in it in the 7-ounce bottle. Club soda. Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm a club soda guy now. I'm enjoying the fizz as well as the lack of actual flavor. It's like a soda pop that you don't have to feel guilty about because you know it doesn't have like those sugars or sugar substitutes.
You ever tried LaCroix?
LaCroix? No, I've never. I think I might have had one of them, the grapefruit one time. That was okay. That somehow has less flavor than just regular club soda. I don't understand how they managed to accomplish that because they are technically flavored, but for somehow there's almost more grapefruit flavor in this non-grapefruit beverage. Yeah, I wasn't too big on that. I'm more of a Topo Chico guy.
Yeah, I used to use LaCroix to mix with my vodka.
It's a good alternative to tonic water, I guess. Probably a little bit less. I don't understand. Tonic water is like flavored with like a chemical. It's like chlorotenzine or some kind of. It just doesn't. It doesn't sound. It's not like lemon lime. You know, like we know lemon and lime. Those come from lemon trees and lime trees, but like it's got like ether in it or something. I don't. It looks like something off the periodic table. The flavor of tonic water.
Yeah, when you use as little as I do, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
That's true. That's very true. But John, it doesn't really matter how much you drink or how much you smoke. You're still sober. You know, that's something I learned this week. They interviewed Demi Lovato. She gave an interview to some magazine or online magazine. I don't know do they still have print magazines?
I think so.
Okay. Well, either way, they
gotta have something to put on the table in the salon.
That's true.
And the dentist office.
She's supposedly she's a recovering heroin addict. That's like part of why they wanted to interview her in the first place. It's like kind of see how her.
Yeah, didn't she have an overdose?
I didn't know about that. I try and only stay up on the life events of people whose music is good, but I don't know.
Yeah, she had an overdose, and they said that I think it had fentanyl in it.
Oh, really?
That's heroin, and then I guess it came out when she overdosed. She was raped by her dealer or something. They said.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's fucking horrible. I hope it wasn't in Minnesota. Here they're cutting them fellas loose. Left and right up there, but
she took the drugs on her own volition. So.
Well, I got this article suggested to me, and they just ask her kind of point blank. They're like, "Are you sober?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm California sober." And I've heard that term before, but apparently it just means that you smoke pot and drink alcohol. That's a pretty easy sober to maintain.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've seen people struggle with substance abuse several times in my life, and if they, but they all believed that like they couldn't smoke pot or drink because it would trigger, their desire to do harder substances, cocaine, heroin, Oxycontin, things like that. But I've also seen a lot of people get off hard drugs by just ramping up their alcohol and marijuana consumption, but it's not sober.
You could just say I'm off heroin.
Yeah, like why not just be like, I don't use heroin anymore? You don't have to qualify sobriety to appease some fucking desk jockey at an online magazine. Like, it just seems to me. Sorry, I'm taking a break to get a little bit more sober, and I just felt like it's insulting to people who are really struggling with their sobriety to be like, oh, I'm California sober. I guess that just means you're just off hard drugs.
They're changing the meaning of everything now.
If you're California sober, could you still do mushrooms and Molly and like designer drugs and psychedelics,
Probably, I don't know about the Molly, but you could definitely do mushrooms if you're California sober.
Okay. So Molly's out, but drop some mushrooms, maybe a little ayahuasca in the tent with the shaman.
Yeah, California sober is definitely cool with ayahuasca and DMT.
Yeah,
maybe not DMT.
Well, I hear that these ayahuasca trips will make you shit your pants.
Yeah,
because of how intense the poison, as we know it, is. The effects of it, like a lot of good trips in my lifetime, as far as mushrooms goes, has started with a good vomit. There's something about like you get it in there, and it starts fucking you up. You throw up, and then now all the fun begins.
I never threw up awful.
Really?
No, but that's what I mean. It's just like everything else in this world. You can't, like, sober used to mean you don't do anything. Now it's California sober and Denver sober, or Colorado sober, and
Colorado sober is probably the same, wouldn't you say? Or similar, at the very least. My whole thing is, so what you're saying is it's kind of telling of the direction our society's moving
like
in.
You used to be man or a woman, now you're cisgender man, cisgender woman, Zims or Zay.
Essentially, words used to have meanings.
And
now the meaning of the word
LGBTQ, now it's XY plus symbol. Like it's like I said before, eventually you're just gonna have to recite the alphabet when you want to talk about people that are cool with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel,
and the T used to mean, I think it used to mean transvestite. Now it means transgender.
Well, I think that they've done away with the transvestites. Like, I mean, they probably still exist.
Like they killed them?
No. Essentially,
gas chamber style.
Essentially, the trans community has told transvestites that they're wrong about themselves. They're not men that like to dress as women fetishistically, or women that like to dress as men fetishistically. They're more. They're lying to themselves about how their true identity is that of the role play.
So they're able to change their pronouns, but if you want to call yourself a transvestite, you're not allowed to do that.
It's kind of a passé term.
Only certain people are allowed to call themselves whatever name they want. Other people can't.
Well, it's people that further their the agenda. But things are not all good in trans news this week. I mean, that bearded lady that likes to read to kids on the internet got popped with child pornography. Never could have seen that coming. Not that I'm not saying that it's telling of that community to have one person in it be a perverted pedophile. But what it is telling of people who want to do things with children that aren't theirs. You know, there's something a little about people who want to spend time with kids. It's just it's not a good look. But I mean, neither here nor there. I mean, we're getting kind of all over the map with this so far. Did you not know that about transvestitism?
What do you mean?
Did you not know that term's become passé?
No, I did. That's
Okay.
why I said it used to be called transvestite. Now it's transgender. They changed it.
Well,
Obviously, they changed
my
it for a
favorite
reason.
letter in the acronym these days is this term queer. Have you you know that's what the Q stands for. It used to stand for questioning, which is essentially an inclusion of the confused. You know, an inclusion of people who are like, I'm not sure if I'm bi or if I'm gay or if I'm this or that. Pick dealer's choice on the label. But basically, you were unsure of yourself. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I've been seeing this term queer mostly on straight girls' profiles on Tinder for the last few years. That's where I usually see the term queer. And in my experience, I think the literal translation of what queer means is unfuckable and with very, very childish hobbies, you know, real into like role playing games, D&D, people that enjoy Yahtzee into adulthood.
Well, I don't know. It's just identity. It's just all about how you identify and all this. It's like they make this group, and it's supposed to be about being unified, but all you're doing is segmenting yourself.
Yeah.
Even though it's a group, a lot of them, there's so much infighting in a group.
Yeah.
Gays and lesbians don't get along.
A lot of older gay men are really trying to arm's length themselves from some of the more radical segments of the community. Interestingly enough, it's as if it's very reminiscent of how certain black ministers that were vocal in the civil rights movement wanted to keep an arm's length from the gay rights movement. It's like, whoa. It's their civil rights, but they're gay. Like, okay, don't be. That was back in the era of they choose to be gay. You know, that was very common. It's crazy, John. I think going and working out in outer space, out in the country, has somehow made me more liberal. Like I hang out with a coworker of mine. His name's KJ, a really nice guy. Used to be chairman of the Democratic Party out in Henry County, and I think he's converted me to a Democrat, like full blown. Like if I'd only talked to him, I probably would. Last year, I probably would have voted for Joe Biden. And I want to say right now, I officially support our president and vice president in everything they do from here on out. I've gone. I guess I've come back from the deep end because probably where my politics was a little bit outside of the whole even realm of left and right, you know. So essentially useless and ineffective. But it's the way he talks about infrastructure and the people here in America actually getting access to their money, Like it's our money, and at least there is something to the fact that the Democratic Party wants to give us our money. You know, they want to give the money to the people, want to use it for things to help the people here in America. And I understand that, sure, like we're kind of engaged in this weird war with, this identity politics culture and the PC liberal movement and that kind of thing. And sure, fuck them. Fuck this whole this victim point system and all these essentially ways to discredit other people's experience, and ability to be empathetic and understanding. But as far as what the Democratic Party really wants for the people is more stuff for the people. That's what I believe now.
I think they all just want more money for themselves. Democrats and Republicans.
I could see
the ones in office anyway.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, they got to get their cut, I mean, nobody does anything completely selflessly, or at least when they do, that kind of occurrence is rare. It's not the typical. It's not the norm.
What the Clintons got for 30-minute speeches, haven't you?
It's some
millions of dollars.
Fair. That's fair. I mean, but
how much of the Clinton fund do you think they were getting? Pretty good chunk, I bet.
Yeah, I do
they
see
all
that.
Want money, man.
Well, I mean, but everybody wants money and everybody needs money, and it's like, sure, they're politicians. They're lining their pockets.
Biden is wanting to give out all the stimulus. Is that any different? Trump gave out stimulus checks?
Oh, no, I'm not talking about stimulus checks. I'm talking about like education reform, paying teachers more. These are things that Democrats actually fight for in Congress, whereas Republicans literally think that we should privatize everything. That there is no government program that does good, that couldn't be done better if it was a for-profit organization. That's an idea that is so stifling to the development of our infrastructure as a nation that I think it's actually worth joining the fight against.
I don't know. I think
you didn't know. This is worse. This is worse than when I told you I was Catholic or pretty much any other thing that I've decided that I am.
I don't care if you. I mean, of course, having liberal views is fine, but actually believing in politicians is another story, dude.
Joining the Democratic Party and registering to vote. Yeah, I know.
That'll probably be the end of the podcast.
You seem like so disappointed.
They're all beholden to the lobbyists, man. They're paid by the same people. That's the point.
Yeah,
they're gonna mask it in different ways. Yeah, the Republicans won't fight for stuff to be privatized because that's what the people that vote for them want. The point of it is what gets done different. How much different was your life when Bush was in office compared to Obama, or Bush compared to Clinton? Well, you were a little kid for most of all that.
Bush and Clinton was my childhood, so it's like there was a lot different. But by the time, I can't say this, I campaigned for Obama when I was 17 years old, and by the time it came around for him to be reelected, I didn't even register to vote for him because he literally broke almost every promise he made. And all the promises he had Bill Clinton come to Indiana and tell us to swing blue for the first time since LBJ. Like none of the promises, none of the things they spoke a good line. But nothing happened.
I'm not saying
that is true. They're
better or worse people. Like Obama is definitely a better person than Trump.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
My point is,
whenever the tide swings and it flip flops from whatever side it's been for 8 years, it's just a bunch of the same, man.
It just kind of keeps on trucking.
Yeah.
Nothing really does change. Except for the people lose a little bit more. But I think the people were fit to lose a lot more if Trump had been reelected. So we can all be grateful that the person I would have voted for, had I gotten my re-education in the ways of the Democratic Party last year, was elected. And his awesome vice president, who has never lied about her family's marijuana use, and also is just I finally understand what a good cop is. She's a good cop.
Shit, her daddy was probably one of them stealing all that money from those nice Jamaican lady singers.
We're gonna talk.
She comes from the rich side of the island, baby.
About the queen of reggae. I mean, soul sister number one, Rita Marley, here in just a little bit. But before that, we have a dude with a giant testicle hanging off of his ear to discuss
boring politics shit.
Well, I'm sorry, man. It came out so naturally. I feel like I want to shout it from the mountaintops. I'm a Democrat. God damn it. Got my Democratic Party 1972 Jim Beam decanter over here. That's right. Very beautiful.
Is that a donkey?
Yeah, it's a donkey, dude. Check it. It's an ass. It's an ass,
An ass and an ass.
That's I'm really taking this this party line seriously. But we'll talk about that another time. Let's talk about old Nut Ear.
Yeah, this is a funny story. This dude was on Dr. Pimple Popper, which is a TV show. I think it might just be a web series now. But it's a lady that just basically pops any kind of cyst or gross thing growing on somebody's body.
This is like what she calls herself that. That's not her real name or occupation. She's probably, a dermatologist or some kind of shit?
Dr. Sandra Lee, it doesn't say what her actual name is or her actual field is, but that's the name of the show, Pimple Popper. Which,
I gotta say, I was pretty excited when you sent me this story because the video says that there's a massive stream of blood.
But this dude, the dude's name is JD. He's 38 from Georgia.
Okay.
And
Poor
it's a
JD.
pear-sized keloid that's grown from the bottom of his ear. And it looks exactly like a nutsack.
Yeah, it's a big, dangly, full scrotum
with two little balls hanging, everything.
And one of the balls is a little higher than the other one for even further accuracy. It's not like two balls right near. It's not like a pair of truck nuts
This dude
hanging off of his ear. It's like
38 years old, and he said he's been dealing with this since he was, or for 21 years. So since he was 17. He's my age.
So he's just had, and now, he said something about how it was like smaller and it's just gotten bigger and bigger.
Well, it started small, but it started when he was like 13, it says. But it's been like the ball sack since he was 17.
God damn. Well,
it's the size of a pear.
Well, they like pre-interview him before they have old Doc Pimple Popper get this scrot sack off of his head, and he's talking about, he's like, yeah, sometimes I'll forget it's there, and it'll like hit me in the face, and I'll be like, hey, quit playing, thinking somebody's like slapping him in the face from behind.
Said it interferes with his job as a forklift operator
because
he has to wear earplugs with strings.
And it gets in the way.
Like, dude, this dude's a forklift operator with a huge set of balls hanging out like
I thought the way it was
The break room must be real fun for JD, dude.
Dude, he's
Hey, ball face.
he's got balls slapping him in the mouth over just again and again to the point where he forgets about it. Oh, man.
It's like the old skit from, I think it's from Doggy Style, where it's like, do you know what you have if you have nuts on the wall? I don't know, Daddy. You'd have walnuts. Do you know what you have if you had nuts on your chin? No, Daddy. What would it be?
Oh,
You'd have a dick in your mouth.
Yeah.
But
It's
this dude,
pretty fucked up, man.
It says he's having a severe impact on his mental health. And he has to make sure he gives the wrinkled lump a regular, thorough wash because it can get off a bad smell.
Oh yeah, the nuts by your face stink. Dude.
He needs to start listening to podcasts and get with Manscaped. Get that, whatever that butter they got to put on your nuts.
Dude, he says it's messing up his job. I'm like, yeah, it's probably got to be hard to drive your forklift around the warehouse when all your coworkers are constantly pointing and laughing at you. Like, that'd be a fucking distraction right there. You want to talk about them nuts hitting you in the mouth?
It's heavy.
Distracting.
You can see how it just pulls on my ear. It's the size of a pear and shaped like a pear. No, it's shaped like a nutsack, dude.
Yeah, this is not shaped like a pear. He says a pear. Yeah, a pair of balls is what it's shaped like. Fucking crazy, man.
Goodness.
But then the video,
he said
she pops the pimple. She lops this motherfucking thing off. They said there was going to be a big squirt of blood. I was like stoked on the big squirt. I was like, is it going to be blood with pus in it? Is it going to be just straight up like red blood, like a slasher film? And then they've cut the fucking money shot. Like, of the pimple popper video, the gush, pus blood explosion is definitely the cum shot. And they chopped it right out of the fucking video.
That's funny. He says he claimed that he was told by doctors that it would either shrink or fall off on its own, but it's only gotten bigger.
Jesus.
Well, here's the thing, dude. It's been 21 years. I'd be finding a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh opinion. Like, at least an opinion every 3 years. Come on, dude.
How many? Yeah, you was told.
You go until somebody pulls out the scissors. Like, you don't just say, oh, I'll wait 21 fucking years. Like, dude, his ball sack is old enough to drink. What's wrong with this guy? I did think of something, though. They shouldn't have popped it. They should have just removed it, and then they could have sent it to our boy from the UK with the dick on his arm, Malcolm McDonald.
So that's something we found out during.
Grow a ball sack on your arm, but this dude already grew one on his ear. But JD's black and Malcolm's white, so it might look a little weird.
Hey, yin and yang balls.
Dude's mangled up junk would look like a Neapolitan ice cream. He's just missing the strawberry.
Oh, well.
Got the vanilla stick and the fucking chocolate balls.
Yeah, just needs to get a sunburn on his ass and he's a fucking carton of ice cream.
Gee, Christmas.
Yeah, I couldn't. They did chop it off. And she sewed up his ear, and he looks like a fucking person who just got something taken off their ear, But I was happy to see the guy got it taken off, But it is kind of a bummer. Like, you can get a ball sack cut off of your ear because it hits you in the face all the time, but you can't get your penis that you grew on your forearm surgically transplanted to your crotch. Just because of the pandemic. So they're playing favorites here when it comes to the genital growth surgeries. It's just so typical, doctors playing God, Oh, chop his balls off. Oh, leave his dick on his arm. but they sleep good at night.
Oh.
Fucking pennies, dude. You want to tell them about the pennies?
Yeah. I'm sure everybody's probably heard this story, but it's fucking funny. This dude worked in a auto body shop. This is also from Georgia.
Oh, really? Georgia's having a good week?
Yeah, it's like the new Florida man. It's the Georgia man. But he worked for AOK Walker Luxury Auto Works in Peachtree, Georgia. Dude, come up with a longer name, why don't you?
Yeah. AOK, what was it?
AOK Walker Luxury Auto Works, right?
AOK Walker Luxury Auto Works. That's, what is it? AO, W.
But it says it looks like they built a Ford Mustang for Clint Eastwood and filmed Trouble with the Curve.
That's pretty badass.
Oh, everybody remembers that big hit from Clint Eastwood's. Did they make the gun in Dirty Harry? No. Okay. Keep walking.
I was like, you see how your threshold for being impressed and my threshold is just like, yours is like way up here. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And you were like, nobody ever even fucking heard of that movie. Like,
yeah.
I guess it's like our standards.
An 80-year-old baseball scout.
I'm not saying that it's a direct correlation, but maybe the fact that I have low standards would play some role in why I'm now becoming a member of the Democratic Party.
Something on my Amazon saying continue watching. Have you been watching a movie on my account with John Candy and Richard Lewis?
I started it. I couldn't watch it. It was so bad.
Dude, you can't watch anything with Richard Lewis except Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Dude, it was the war. It was a Western. Yeah. It was a Western where John Candy plays this alcoholic wagon leader. Like, there's like a guy who goes out and finds the ways the wagons can go, you know, kind of a guide. And it's really
sounds like a winner. We've wasted enough of my time with this.
It's a bad movie, man. Like, every joke is corny. And it's like Richard Lewis is pretending to be somebody that actually went west, like during the frontier days. Like, he's and they get this idea to go back east. They're like, yeah, it's not good out here. Let's just go back to the east.
Back in those days, there weren't any Jews west of Manhattan, probably.
Dude, the whole premise is so ludicrous. Like, and all the characters are like really people who don't belong in a Western. Like, no.
What's his name from Deadwood? He was a Jew. Star.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't saying that you were right about how there were no Jews in the West. There probably were.
Cowboys.
Probably, but he was not a cowboy. He is just a guy from Brooklyn.
They had the smallest hats.
He's a guy from Brooklyn in the 50s. Pretend that they just shoved into this Western and put a couple of different clothes. Like, he's Richard Lewis.
I really don't want to hear any more about this stupid ass movie.
It's so bad. It's the worst. It's the worst movie.
Quit using my Amazon account to watch trash like that. It pops up in my algorithm. Anyway, back to Georgia, Peachtree, Georgia. So this dude is quit his job or was fired from his job.
Oh yeah, at the auto works.
And they still owed him his paycheck, his last paycheck. It was $915. And the guy's name's Andreas Flatten, which is kind of a weird name. But
yeah, they
owed it to him since last November. So he reported him
for not paying his last paycheck.
To the Better Business Bureau.
Well, it's been fucking months.
Yeah,
it's like 5 months.
One day he wakes up, walks out into his driveway, and there's a pile of 91,500 pennies with grease all over them.
Oh yeah, because they like dumped oil all over the pennies.
Yeah, some sort of, it says some sort of automotive fluid.
So they paid him in greasy pennies. Oh, that's great. That's solid because he has to take it, I'm sure. Because it is legal tender.
Yeah, he quit.
Oh, he quit his job so that and then they didn't want to pay him. Fucking low lives. And then when I don't like this story. I don't like the fucking boss goes and pays the employee in fucking pennies. But when I opened that, there was another article suggested about a guy who paid a fine in pennies. But he overpaid by $8.
The owner of the shop, Miles Walker, he said, "It doesn't matter. He got paid. That's all that matters," he said.
Dude, that guy's a fucking dick.
But this dude is like talking about how he has to clean all of them off and count them all now. It's like, dude, I don't know. I might just eat that 915.
Or like you said, just clean them off. Like if you just get the hose out.
Yeah, but this dude's he was acting like it took him like hours and hours just to get a few dollars. It's like, dude, spray that shit off, take it to the Coinstar.
Yeah.
And dump that shit. You don't need to fucking sit and count each penny and roll it up. It's like you said, just spray the shit off. Pennies usually got a little bit of grime on them anyway. Who has fucking? I haven't even seen a penny in decades.
Really, you don't fuck with change? I got a big.
Other than my ones in my collection.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got a big jar of change, but you're more of a debit card guy. I'm more of a cash guy.
Well, Keith, I was exaggerating, but truly, it's like you don't use who uses pennies anymore. You know.
Yeah. They're not very common, you know.
Yeah.
Unless you're a cash person.
Yeah, when I was a kid, Grandma would watch me, and I'd go over, and she'd have a big jar of them, and she'd let me stick my hand in, and as many as I could grab, I could have them. Because she'd walk and stuff, and just pick them up, and she'd save the ones with my birthday or my birth year.
Yeah.
All that kind of shit.
Yeah, she was cool, man. She used to walk around and she'd pick up change and give it to us. That was pretty great. When I was a kid, she'd give it to us in old pill bottles. Because she's a grandma, you know, so she's on medications and stuff. She had plenty of those.
Yeah.
She just
there it is. It says
fill them up with change she found, give them to us. That was cool.
Yeah, I never got the pill bottles. She probably wasn't on as much medication when I was a kid.
Yeah, she was younger.
A little younger. But anyway, so this dude said this is his cleaning method. He spent 2 hours one night cleaning the pennies so he might be able to drop them in a machine. He sloshed them around in a giant vat of Dawn dish soap, white vinegar, and water. That failed. He has found that to get the greasy solution off, he has to wipe each penny individually.
Oh my God.
It took him around 2 hours to get $5 worth.
Jesus.
I'm not buying that. This dude, I'm guessing I'd be way better at cleaning pennies than him.
Take him to a bank and be like, I'd like to open an account, and give them the pennies. Like, they're going to take them. They're not going to not take giant buckets of pennies at the bank if you're trying to open an account with them.
I don't know. They might say no. There are a lot of places, because you used to be able to just take loose change to the bank. Now it's got to be rolled at a lot of places. Yeah,
they do encourage you to roll your change. I've found that if you're taking a large quantity of change to the bank that you don't intend on rolling it, you kind of want to piece it out a couple $100s at a time. Because you can also just refuse to roll the change, and they have to take it because it's your money and it's your account.
I'm thinking this dude must have done something pretty dickish before he quit to make them dudes do that shit, though, because they had to go through the effort of getting 91,500 pennies and counting them out themselves.
Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know where I thought there was a change shortage. Did this guy just have a grip of pennies? Has he been saving pennies for years? And he
That's
just
probably how Clint Eastwood paid him for that Mustang.
buckets of pennies. Yeah, I don't know. They claimed on the website that that he got the idea from some guy who got hit with some fine and he didn't want to pay it. So he paid it in pennies in protest or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy like heard about that and was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." But I like how he made it his own by dumping a bunch of greasy automotive fluid all over him. He kind of improved upon it.
Yeah, we got some front runners for the end of the year.
Oh yeah,
Best dude and worst dude of the year.
yeah.
Best dude. I'd say the guy that's got the ball sack.
I think he's definitely.
It's early in the year.
It's
so
early in the year, but I think we could go ahead and add him to the running.
maybe that's best story of the year because he sat around with balls on his ear for 21 fucking years like
Just
an
getting
adult.
smacked and just getting teabagged by himself every time he shook his head. He shook his head for the camera and it's just fucking balls on your face.
You ask me, that's one ridiculous forklift operator. Like, brother, get that shit cut off a long time ago.
Yeah.
He spent all of his 20s with balls hanging off
Who
of his
did
face.
he party with in this amount of time that wasn't like one night just like, hey man,
I
let's
think
just
he
cut that
probably
shit off
did a
your
lot
ear
of
and go to
partying
the-
by himself.
let's go. Let me cut that shit off your ear and we'll go to the doctor. Like, I'm just gonna chop it off.
Yeah.
And then we'll drive right to the emergency room. They'll stitch you up. It'll be good.
Yeah, you take matters into your own hands.
Yes, when there's a fucking half a pound set hanging right next to your fucking cheek, smacking you in the fucking
Like,
head.
that's the type of ball sack that just goes swimming when you sit on the toilet. He's hitting water with those hangers.
Yeah, man. It was a set, bro.
I got some hangy ass balls, but shit.
Fucking, it was, and they were just so solid too. Like, because it's a cyst, it's like a tumor, but it's not like he's gonna die. It's like a benign tumor hanging off of his head.
I'd say the front runner for worst guy of the year so far is that cop that was beating up that dog.
Yeah. Definitely canine cop.
I'm torn too. It's between best guy of the year or worst guy of the year for the Miles Walker, the dude that dropped all those pennies in that driveway. 'Cause that's a pretty funny joke.
Yeah, he got his ass. I don't know. I think he's kind of a dick. I would say he's more of a worst guy of the year.
Yeah,
for
it
that.
is definitely a dick move. Like, the dude quit. Maybe he fucked your wife or whatever.
I don't know if anybody's gonna beat out
I'm
the
thinking
fucking
this dude's-
fireman that used to have three-ways with his own son for worst guy of the year. He's
Oh, I thought you were going to
definitely
say best guy of the year.
no. Oh, it's no.
You think
He's the
you
worst
think
guy.
Luis Gomez would make him the real ass dude of the week.
Fuck no, dude. That's terrible. That
Pretty-
guy's the worst.
Pretty real ass though.
It is real ass.
Don't
Yeah,
forget he
yeah.
was munching box by the pool in the afternoon with a chain link fence. That's pretty real ass.
Yeah, I don't know. There are things about the guy that you like. What can I say?
I don't know.
There are things.
I don't like him. That's trash.
but
you
like,
can't have sex with your wife and son at the same time.
Yeah, bro. It's like you shouldn't be encouraging your children to sleep with their mother. That's really
While
fucked
you're
up.
doing it too.
Yeah,
Especially.
yeah. You're not supposed to fucking devil's triangle with your dad.
Just tell him to do it when you're at the firehouse for a couple of days.
That would have been better, is what you're saying? If he was like, hey, while I'm gone, make sure and keep Mom happy.
No, that dude's got
yikes.
bad mental problems.
Yeah, I don't understand
how did he get this far without doing something?
And how did this guy, well, like you said, the guy like he just had repressed memories or whatever, but like, I don't know. I think that would stick out.
No, I mean, the dad, like, you think he would have gotten in trouble a long time ago. He didn't get in trouble until he's 81.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's a straight up Epstein.
He, in that he's
like
probably
said,
going to die before he gets any punishment.
Communities like Avon, Ohio, fire chief is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Should we do my segment? Are we done with the ball sack ear guy and reminiscing on all these pieces of shit we talk about on this fucking show?
Well, we got to remember them.
Yeah, that's true.
You might want to jot down some of those for worst of the year and best of the year. Of course, I probably will end up winning best of the year. I won best of the year, didn't I?
No, I thought you gave it to Michael or Malcolm McDowell.
Oh,
Malcolm
yeah,
McDonald.
I did. But I wanted...
Every time I say his name, I want to say Michael McDonald. You know?
Who did I want to win? FBG Duck. He missed out by a cunt's hair.
Yeah, just a little tiny bit. Is another way of saying that. Or,
what? I'm not allowed to say cunt now?
No, I'm not saying that you can't say cunt.
I haven't been saying...
You didn't say... You didn't... He is not even...
I'm on like, what, 5 week... 5 weeks.
It's like
run.
3 weeks maximum. There's no way it's 5 weeks.
Well, when I called it you, it doesn't count.
Why would it not count if you call me it?
Because you were talking about some stupid ass shit.
Oh. Well, something that's not stupid.
I don't know. I think
something that's
JD might be a little...
Yeah.
Get that nutsack cut off, dude. Well, I can't get past it.
As somebody who operates a forklift, I got to tell you, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to operate a forklift. And it also doesn't take the ability to speak your own occupation.
Speaking of nutsacks, what would it be if some old Jamaican reggae singer lady had nuts on her chin?
I didn't even follow that sentence. It was so ridiculous. What did you say?
She'd have a dick in her mouth. Let's
Okay.
get to the woman of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's that wonderful time.
It's the last week.
The last week of it's the last week of Women's Appreciation Month, so we can go back to not appreciating women. I gotta say,
but they actually got 4 weeks. Like, we had to do 4 people for Black History Month in 3 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we actually ended up celebrating our last Black person of the week at the beginning of March.
Well, it was recorded
in February, but all the folks at home got to enjoy.
This will come out on the last day of March. So, yeah, see?
Yeah.
They got recorded 4 times, and they got 4 releases.
Anyway, it's the end of the woman of the
Basically,
week.
what I'm saying is, quit bitching, broads. You still got it better than the blacks.
Yeah, that really has been the takeaway from this month's celebration. Seeing as like we've talked about 3 titans of a genre of music, three of the most successful people from an entire genre of music, one that is beloved throughout the world, and they all like had to work. Like that's in addition to that, they were at the top of their game.
They had good jobs though.
Yeah, accountant working in a sewing factory, nurses.
No, they didn't get paid for that.
Nurses.
That was a sweatshop.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's
That was their side gig that
the
they did
side
for
gig.
food and board.
Yeah,
then they had to have a real job too.
Yeah.
And they were beautiful singers.
Yeah.
But I would like to point out too that so far all of the women of the month have been black too. So
You're goddamn right, and it's gonna stay that way. It's gonna stay that way.
Because we support black people more than women.
That's true. You heard it here on the When It Raised It Pours podcast. Black people over women all day,
Keith
every day.
Is extremely misogynistic, and I am a moderate.
I am not extremely misogynistic at all. I was the one who was like, let's not make a big thing about the rape thing up in Minnesota. You wanted to talk about that. You brought that up. Like that would be good for us somehow. How anybody could see us talking about that and be
an
like,
innocent person being exonerated.
God damn it. How anybody could watch us to discuss that particular case from the news and it make us seem like good people. No. That's why we made a couple of short jokes about it.
For the ACLU.
Little allusion, just a little allusion to what's been going
one
on.
Of the best things the ACLU has ever done.
Shut the fuck up. This is so
freeing that man.
I don't think the ACLU was his lawyers, but
maybe.
But
Gloria Allred.
Before we do the last woman of the month, woman of the week. And WO, and in this case again, a black woman of the week, BPOTW, or what was it, BWOTW. Before we start that, we have a couple of honorable mentions.
The women of the month.
Yeah, there we go. The women of the month. I nominated my mom. You know. And John, I believe you nominated your mom.
Yeah.
And
they both won.
Looks like they both won.
Co-MVPs.
Exactly. And they beat all the women of the week.
Co-MVWs. Most valuable women.
Was something we decided is only fair because they're not getting an entire segment devoted to them. They're just...
here's the thing.
We're not going to tell you our mother's life stories. It's none of your goddamn business. Okay?
Here's the thing is we love our mothers, and they can be the women of the month.
Yeah, but they're...
Women of the week is a little more prestigious in our eyes, and neither of our mothers are black.
Yeah,
so they
couldn't be women of the week.
Woman of the week.
They couldn't be woman of the week, and they also have no reggae records between the two of them.
No, but my mom was an excellent horse rider,
and
she was a barrel rider.
And my mom is probably the baddest cook I've ever known in my life. Like, better than you, better than the homeboy down in Texas. Better than anybody. Nobody can touch her fried pork chops. And she makes gravy better than anybody else. She makes gravy better than any restaurant I've ever had.
What, sausage gravy?
Yeah. And she's just a dope person. She's just a dope soul, you know.
You wanted to start this by complimenting your mom, not making me challenge her to a cook-off.
I'm telling you right now.
I'll smash her pork chops and her sausage gravy easily.
Not a chance. Not a chance. You couldn't do it.
Dude, I was on TV. I'm a fucking celebrity chef,
That's
bro.
true, dude. Yeah, we've got to talk a little bit about that at some point. Fucking maybe after we do the little thing here, but like, I don't want to. Let's not get too far. We know
the All Indiana segment.
We know, John. You were on the
news.
I was
on TV
because you're like the one of the baddest barbecuers in the business, you know. And you and Ryan run a fucking awesome restaurant together. And you guys went out and that was really cool.
Your mom is better at euchre than she is at cooking.
She's good at euchre.
Yeah, I used to play with her all the time.
She can roll a fucking mean joint too. Like, definitely better than me. Never pregnant, like a little Lucky Strike every time.
When I was a kid, me and your mom would always play euchre we'd team up against all your uncles and stuff on Thanksgiving and other holidays and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
Because I was good at euchre from playing with my mom's family too, but whenever we go to your Aunt Dar and Uncle Junior's for Thanksgiving and stuff like that, me and her would always be the team. We beat all the. I mean, I was a little kid.
You were actually
even before preteen. I was playing with them.
Oh, really? I didn't learn to play euchre till I was a teenager.
I mean, like when you were still a baby.
But your mom, I mean, what can I say? She bought the underwear that I'm wearing right now for me. Now, I bought the socks, okay? But I have about a dozen pairs of socks that she also bought me. She's a very wonderful lady. And also, she's going to do the nightmare that is my taxes from last year for me. So I owe this woman a lot.
Good thing they made an extension.
Yeah. Oh, did they really? Oh, I've got all the stuff. It's all ready to go. But it's a fucking nightmare.
They extended it to May or something.
When she said that, I was like, oh man, she loves me. Like it was like you could just care about a person enough to get them some boxer briefs, but when you're willing to tackle these taxes of mine, because
it won't take that long, I'm sure.
Even during the pandemic, I had like 8 jobs.
I mean, yours is definitely going to be worse than mine, but mine took like an hour. So.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's anything that people can take away from this episode, it's that if we had balls growing off of our ears, we'd chop that shit off. And we both love our mothers.
I would say
Mom.
the main thing to take from it is that if you're a woman, you better be black or one of our mothers, or else
or fuck
we
up.
don't really care about you.
Yeah. If you're not a reggae diva or one of our mothers, like
fuck off.
Fuck off. Next, please.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We love women.
There's lots of women in our lives that we
love. It's
love
fun to make jokes.
Very much. We're just kidding. We talked about our grandmother. We loved her very much.
Oh yeah, of course. Our aunts.
Our aunts, yeah, and
maybe some of our cousins.
Yeah, and when he says aunts, that also might just be a sum too. You never know. Family's complicated. No, I'm just kidding. I love all my family. I really do. And I love all of our family that watches the show every week. That's pretty cool. One day I was camping out at the campground. I stumbled up to Chad's trailer, and he was in there listening to the podcast, drinking coffee, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" I know that there's not a lot of dude. I love being juicy too. Like that's the thing. Like since I got that nickname at work, like my whole life has changed. I want for nothing. Women are constantly wanting to talk to me.
Juicy's a pretty sweet nickname, to be honest.
Yeah, they always want me.
That's coming from somebody with a million nicknames.
I'm not trying to be, misogynistic here, but I do feel like they just want me for my tickets. They don't want to love this.
What are you talking about?
They don't even really want me for my money. They just want me for the tickets. For the fucking pull tabs. The women that I see all the time.
Oh, that gave you the nickname.
Yeah, they gave me the nickname. Yeah, they all call me that now, which is good. But either way, Juicy got a job to do. And I want to say this week's...
when your name is John... You have a lot of nicknames. I got a million nicknames.
Yeah.
John Daly, John Cryer, Johnsy, Johnny Johnson.
It's Johnny John. Who calls you Johnny Johnson?
Oh, not very many people anymore, but back in the day, a lot of people called me Johnny Johnson.
I call you Johnny Law sometimes.
Johnny Law.
I used to date a girl whose last name was Law, and her brother's name was John. And whenever I'd run into him, I'd be like, Johnny Law, Reach for the sky.
Or just Johnson.
Just Johnson. People call you Johnson?
Giannini.
Giannini? Who the fuck is calling you Giannini?
Nobody anymore, but back in the day.
Back
like
in the
I
day.
said.
J.A.
J.A.
Yeah. Well, somebody
Junior.
who didn't have a nickname.
Uncle June.
Uncle Junior? They call you Uncle Junior?
No, nobody called me that.
The woman of the week is Rita Marley. She was born in Cuba in 1946, and shortly after leaving Santiago de Cuba, she moved to Kingston, Jamaica, and then there's really nothing known about her life until she was...
So she was a swimmer?
What?
She was a swimmer?
I don't know if they swam or if they took a boat or if they took a plane.
Oh, okay.
There's really, it doesn't say anything about how she got from Cuba to Jamaica, and then it says even less about her life all the way up until she's 20 years old and she meets Bob fucking Marley.
Well, I know one of Bob Marley's baby mamas was a professional ping pong player.
This is not her. This is
So
the one that was in
I thought
the...
maybe this one was a swimmer.
No, this was his wife. This is Ziggy and Steven.
Kamani Marley. His mom was a ping pong player.
Oh, okay. Well, this is Ziggy and Steven
I won
and Stephanie
the
Marley's
seventh grade
mom.
ping pong championship.
Really?
Yeah, I got the trophy somewhere.
So we've gone from Rita Marley to Bob Marley's other wife who played ping pong. You were a ping pong championship.
No,
Can I
she
just
wasn't
get
his
through?
wife. He was baby mama.
Okay, can I just get through this?
That boy had a lot of kids.
In 1976, she met Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. No, I'm sorry. In 1966, she met Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. And became a member of a group called the Soulettes, which is kind of that like pre-reggae R&B kind of imitation
like
of
Judy
Motown,
like the
yeah,
Temptation style,
that era,
staple singer style,
R&B groups. But then she quickly became a member of the Wailers, and eventually the lead backup vocalist in the I-Threes when it was Bob Marley and the Wailers. And in 1976, 10 years after she had joined probably the most successful reggae group in the world, she got shot in the head in her driveway when a group of
she
armed
was married
men...
to Bob Marley. She got shot in the head quite a few times, I'm sure.
Well,
although I don't think he liked to finish in the mouth because he had all them kids.
That's true.
He never learned how to pull out.
Yeah, no.
That's the sad thing.
You gotta sow a lot of seed, man, if you want to raise a lot of crops.
They do need food down there.
That does sound like something he would say in reply to you. But basically, there was an assassination attempt at his home, and Bob got shot a couple times, and Rita got shot in the fucking head and lived.
Nice.
Yeah, that's some boss bitch shit right there. That's gangster.
Rude bitch.
You get fucking shot in the
boys.
Yeah, you get shot in the fucking dome and live. That's about as badass as it. And kept making records, all the way up until Bob's death, and then 2 after he passed away. Really, her post work with Bob wasn't anything to really speak of, but she was on so many great records. She's
who else could take
well.
a shot to the head?
And all her boys are fucking money makers in the reggae and
I bet
rap
JD
world.
could take a shot to the head as long as it hit him in that thing on his ear.
Yeah, dude.
That thing would stop a bullet.
I would rather somebody take that sack and put a Nestle gun up against it and blast it off of my fucking ear, permanently making me deaf.
Don't make me shoot these nuts.
Than live multiple years.
Go ahead, make my day.
Yeah, it's like the shooting the apple off the top of the kid's head, but
William Tell.
But it's the pear
Off the side of his
off the side of his head.
So what? Which one of them? His kids was hers kids?
Ziggy and Steven and Stephanie. So like the two most successful.
So like
Bob's
10%.
kids. No, she had 5 of his kids, but
5.
I didn't write down all their names because the other ones were like
So 20%.
older. And she also adopted all of his other children. Like she raised all of his children as her own. She was a pretty down ass chick to get shot in the head and not leave the man who got you shot in the head.
Ping pong with Kimani?
I don't know.
Kimani, he definitely wasn't her kid because he was that dark skin.
What are you talking about, John?
Well, I mean, most of his kids are a little bit lighter skinned.
Yeah,
Not
well, they all
Kimani.
kind of look like him.
That boy, he dark.
Hell yeah, not a high yellow, huh? Okay, good
Like
God,
a struck match.
God damn it.
I'm stole that joke from Damon Wayans. So
you gotta love Damon Wayans now. He's a funny guy.
all the Wayans are funny. I love Wayans.
Yeah, and shout out to, with it being Women's Appreciation Month, WAP, or Wham, Wham, like the sound of being hit, Wham. It's Women's Appreciation Month, Wham. To the moon, Alice. What was I going to tell you about the? Oh yeah. Shout out to Kim Wayans. Now she was a funny one, dude. She was funny as fuck on In Living Color. She was the only chick from the family, and I always thought rather underrated. She needed her own.
They
movie.
had other sisters. She was the only one in show business, but
very funny.
She isn't very funny,
dude. She was as funny as Jim Carrey.
I don't know about that.
On that show,
nah,
dude. Come on now.
Even Damon wouldn't say something like that.
I don't know. I always heard Marlon was a dick.
Did he ever work at the store?
Not that
I know. I think Sean did.
I know he went there a few times.
And Damon did.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I was watching the Comedy Store documentary the other night.
Oh yeah, I got to get cracking on that.
Your boy Hassan on there.
Hell
had
yeah.
a little cameo. That was tight.
Yeah, shout out to the Dangerous Brown podcast. If you like our show, you should check out his. He's got his family on there sometimes. It's a family affair, and it's one of the only 3 podcasts I listen to. It's very funny.
Yeah, I listen to too many podcasts.
Yeah, I heard that Hassan was in that. Hassan Ahmad, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, check out the Dangerous Brown, available here on YouTube as well.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see him on there, though, because I remember watching him when he came to town with you that one time.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's funny, man.
That was a good time.
I loved his other podcast. He was on that Spoil the Beans, too.
Yeah, that's still going with Derek and Sam.
Super funny on that. Oh, another dude off of that, too, Jeffrey Burner.
Oh, yeah, he's funny.
He's in that documentary,
He's a paid regular now at the Comedy Store.
Well, nobody's a paid regular now.
Yeah, that's true.
That shit's closed down. It's in California.
Yeah, that's true. People are out there. That's not, I don't know. Sucks. It would suck to be out there. I know that. So,
only if you're poor.
So
most of the rich people have still got it pretty good out there, I think.
Yeah, I feel like if anything,
and you can still go to Whole Foods.
They don't have to smell.
You can still be California sober.
All the poor people, like used to, you'd have like a millionaire walking down the street, and he's got to step over a bum, or he's got to try and not make eye contact with somebody that's barely alive from starvation and dehydration. Now they do everything via Zoom and have everything that they want delivered to their mansion.
I think was why a lot of them moved away, was because the influx of people that were just getting by into the already existing homeless community. They're like, God, LA's just like San Francisco now. This sucks.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, well, LA was already pretty full of homeless before
now
this.
it's like,
and now it's like was San
Yeah, but it
Francisco
used
all
to
that
be-
much worse?
Oh, San Francisco's always had terrible homeless problems.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, it's probably the most expensive place to live now because all the fucking tech companies are based up there. None of the tech companies are in LA. They're all in Northern California.
And
So
it just doesn't make any sense
all
to
those
make
rich
things.
tech people that live there drive up all the prices. Like
But it just doesn't make
if you
any
wanna
sense to
live-
drive prices up that high because, like, who's gonna wait the tables?
if you aren't making $1 million in the Bay Area, you'd be living in Vallejo, dude.
They're just bussing
Drinking
in people to do
hurricanes
all
like
the work.
fucking E-Forte.
Damn.
Hope I don't miss my target and tinkle all over the toilet.
Is that one of his lines?
Hell yeah.
God damn.
Drinking club.
The only
Hall of Game.
the only rapper I've ever heard use tinkle. But he is
Say it to his face.
that's pretty it's kind of gangster to
Might
say
get-
tinkle.
Hell yeah.
It's like that's one of those words that's so non-threatening. Like piss has some threat to it, you know, like
I like people that use words in their raps like tinkle, ding-a-ling, shit like that. Goofy shit.
yeah.
Well, I listen to a lot of hardcore shit, but every now and then you gotta listen to that goofy shit too. Somebody that can give a fuck.
Yeah, they're just trying to have some fun and spit some rhymes.
Hell yeah. 40 water.
Well, I gotta say, I think that wraps it up for Women's Appreciation Month.
Dude, good segment.
Thanks, man.
I know a lot more about Rita Marley than I did before.
Yeah. I feel like people are gonna finally come to the realization of what an integral role women played in both the growth of reggae and just in making the quality music that was Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Well, I'll tell you this. The whole takeaway that I take from that segment from this month is this is Women's History Month or Women's Appreciation Month?
It's Women's Appreciation Month.
Okay. Ladies, you're getting a lot more appreciation than you used to. 4 of the biggest artists and the only genre of an island. We're getting paid scraps, man.
Yeah. Things have gotten better.
Now, women have all the good jobs. They make more than men. They get the best movie roles.
Yeah, they're literally rewriting like how things
I'm waiting until,
would really go.
you know how Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
I'm waiting
that's
for
a show.
when women are the new white men.
Ooh.
Then we can start getting some of our
Appreciated.
reparations.
Yeah. Well,
Eventually, with the way we're going, we are going to be the protected class at some point. We just have to wait.
patience.
I know one dude that'll wait. My boy JD. He'll wait at least 21 years. Although he is already a part of a protected class.
God.
Guys with nut sacks on their face. And black.
All right. Bye, Mom.